Years ago, usually this you could say before all of you were born, but now that we have a old age homes, here you'll see, Jonathan. So over 30 years ago, I after my first summer post Shlomo, I did my first Siyum, and my first Siyum was on Maseches Brachos. My first Siyum was on Maseches Brachos. Oh, that's very noisy. It was attended by you probably don't know this, but my friend here always tells me I am in Chepsa a chassid. The term v'chepsa doesn't mean anything here. I am in essence a chassidic nature, not because of my tremendously rich emotional life, but because of I just happen to be very self-negating towards my Rabbi. So sitting there to my left, somewhere in the middle, it was at my brother Jonathan's house. If you think there's any family resemblance, that will bother him. This is my older brother. There's a 13 years difference. I just don't like when people think that I'm older. So sitting at the middle of that Siyum at my brother's house, to my left was Rabbi Gershfeld, my Rabbi, and to my right was someone who I had hired for a summer of learning. He was not yet my Rabbi. That happened about 13 years ago when I slowly developed a strong affection for the Shirim now online of Rabbi Lopiansky. But Rabbi Lopiansky was to my right.
Addiction is a better word.
Addiction is true. Many people don't know this about me, but before I became religious, I had perfectly organized about 3,000 comic books. All the cross. I've now used that addiction. You'll see that you can find in the computer downstairs. Rabbi Gershfeld's alumni sharing perfectly organized and labeled. Mordechai might be able to understand them, but you should probably take them. And we have perfectly organized Rabbi Lopiansky sharing, which were horribly organized. Not only because Rabbi Lopiansky refuses to use a uppercase letter, but they were horribly organized, and now they're perfectly organized. I would recommend, if you ever want to get into the Maral, to start with Rabbi Lopiansky's near Mitzvah Shirim. It's a short work and it's very clear. Okay, now so I was inspired because of the recent news that I would like to do another Siyum on Brachos. I was calling a close friend of mine. We actually used a phone. Skype didn't work. This was really primitive. I had a phone call on Friday. It's sort of embarrassing, this generation. I called a friend of mine, Rabbi Yitzchak Feldman. He's an acquaintance of mine at a place called Yale University. And then he was a friend of mine at Brachos Shlomo, and then another place called Merkaz Torah. And he mentioned that at that first Siyum, Rabbi Lopiansky said, this is more a beginning than an end, and I really hope that this is more a beginning than an end. So I'm doing a Siyum. I'm doing a Siyum on Brachos, and I'm doing a Siyum on and I'm making it more global and broader. You're probably wondering who's this distinguished-looking gentleman directly to my right. He didn't know me at that stage, but after my summer at post Shlomo, where I was wandering around the world, I went to a place called Merkaz Torah, which is no longer an option for you gentlemen. There was a window. There's a window when they were generously willing to accept Brachos Shlomo students, and there was a small window of time. A lot of us benefited greatly from the institution. And when I got there, Rabbi Elfenbein was very instrumental in several things. The major accomplishment of my last 30 years is not so much my vast stature in Talmudic literature, which, as far as you know, means that I can sometimes move the comma over and render it somewhat more comprehensible, or tell you there's a question mark. But the major achievement is that I have established a Jewish family. Those who knew me back then, I was not at that stage of my life as standard a human being as I am today. I was a little bit more eccentric than I am today. And the person who was most influential in making sure that I got married manipulated, kicked me, pushed me. I could go through a whole story of what Rabbi Elfenbein did, and he's responsible for my being married. I will not go through the whole story of what Rabbi Elvin did to get me married. We used to have to push people to get married. At Bakon Yaakov, we have to stop it. Down Yoni. No Yoni. Just because she winked at you doesn't. That's actually from a Torah hashkafa, Yoni. That's a problem. She shouldn't be winking at you. Okay.
It's not my fault.
It's not your fault, Yoni. I had to suffer through that kind of. No, I didn't. Okay, now okay, I'm really glad I'm feeling here. Everything tonight was triangulated so that both Rabbi Lopiansky and Rabbi Gershon will both be here. But I was told by the Rebbe that was sort of triangulated. This would probably be the day, about the time when I'd be feeling worse, that the drugs, let's call it chemotherapy, was getting stronger, and I would no longer be on steroid. I was sort of interested that there's some steroid component. They said 4 days of steroid after your chemotherapy. I immediately said, steroids? Is that possible that I could look like Jack Brown? The doctor looked at me and said, Jack Brown requires 20 years of focused effort. I said, what about Arnold Schwarzenegger? He said, 10. Now so I'm doing a Kakir, so I'm going to be doing a Siyum on Brachos, hopefully an opening of a new stage. I'm going to be doing a Siyum of the last 30 years. I've raised a family. I've improved in life, and all objective observers, some of them of a nasty nature, have said I'm tremendously a better person than they were expecting when I first wandered into. Shlomo actually met me. This is Shlomo Goldstein. He's been my Harusa for 10 years, guiding me to try to become a Baal Das and raise my family. The basic rules are, with your children, shut up, towards judging other people. Don't be black and white. Towards your wife, shut up. Now fairly good rules, but you need chazor for something. Okay, so now we're going to finish Brachos. We're going to do a Siyum on Brachos, and then I'm going to do the Kaddish. Okay, let's choose somewhere. Let's make sure we can read it. Okay. Amar Rabbi Levi Bar Chia, Hayotzim Beis HaKnesses, V'nichnas LeBeis HaMidrash, V'osek V'Torah. In those days, they had a separate Beis HaKnesset. They davened in one room, and they learned in another room. And you didn't have to worry about the books hanging around. And so if you leave the Beit Knesset after Shachris and you go to Beit Midrash to learn Torah, you'll be worthy and you'll receive the Shekhinah. We won't translate everything for you, gentlemen. I'm Rabbi Chia Barashi, I'm a Rav, Talmidei Chachamim Ein Lahem Nuka, Lo Mazev, Lo Malava, Shnem Yelchu Mechayel L'Chayel, Yeret El Elokim B'Tzion. A person who goes from Chayel L'Chayel, he should see God in Siyum. I'm Rabbi Elazar. I'm Rabbi Elazar, I'm Rabbi Chanin, Talmidei Chachamim Marbim Shalom B'Olam. Shnem Rabbi Chol B'Naich, Lumidei Hashem, Rav Shalom B'Naich. Al Tigo B'Naich El B'Naich. Shalom Rav L'River Sersechem, the Moment Shol. He Shalom B'Chelech, Shalom Merosayich. The man Achai V'Rayah, Davar Shalom B'Lach. The man Beis Hashem Elokeinu, Avaksha Tov Lach, Hashem Oz L'Amo Yitein Adonai Yivreich, Hashem Oba Shalom. Wait, you can sit for most of this. Please sit. Keep eating, gentlemen. They're waiting for you. We should have for the whole thing.
You say Kaddish now.
Not yet. Hadranalach. This will not be the fastest. I remain about Shuva. Hadranalach Masekas Brachos Hadranalach. Datanalach Masekas Brachos Datanalan. Lo nisnasei minach misetes brachos lo tisnasei minach lo ba'amal adei lo b'dal madase. Here at Tomel Fanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'Heo Seinu Shtieh Sarascha U'Naseinu v'Olam Hazev Tieh Imanu l'Olam Haba. Chanina bar Papa, Rami bar Papa, Nachman bar Papa, Achai bar Papa, Alamari bar Papa, Rafram bar Papa, Rachish bar Papa, Surcha bar Papa, Ada bar Papa, Dari bar Papa. Herav Nadonai Eloheinu es divrei Sarascha b'finu v'fifios amcha b'Yis Yisrael v'nieh Kulanu anachnu v'teitenu v'teitei amcha b'Yis Yisrael kulanu yodei shmecha v'lomdei Sarascha lishma v'yivai techachmeni mitzvosecha ki l'olam hili bi samim b'chukecha l'man lo evosh l'olam lo eshkach pikudecha ki vam ki yisanu Ruch atah Adonai lamdeni chukecha amen 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 selaved.
מודים אנחנו לך לפניך אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ששמת חלקנו ביושבי בית המדרש לא שמת חלקנו ביושבי קרנו שאנו משכימים והם משכימים אנו משכימים לדברי תורה והם משכימים לדברי בטלים אנו עמלים והם עמלים אנו עמלים לקבל שכר והם עמלים ואינם מקבלים שכר אנו רצים והם רצים אנו רצים לחיי העולם הבא והם רצים לבאר שחס שנאמר אתה אלוהים תורידם לבאר שחס אנשי דמי ומרמה לא יחזו ימיהם ואני אפתח בך יהי רצון לפניך אדוני אלוהי כשם שעזרתני לסיים מסכת ברכות כן תעזרני להשכיל מסכת וסברים אחרים לסיימם ללמוד ללמד לשמור ולעשות ולקיים את כל דברי תלמוד תורתך באהבה וזכוס כל התנאים והאמוראים ותלמידי חכמים יעמוד לי לזרעי שלא תמוש התורה מפי ומפי זרעי וזרע זרעי עד עולם תתקיים בי בהתהלכך תנחה עושך בשכבך תשמור עליך והכיתוסת היא ששיחך כי בי ירבו ימיך ויוסיפו לך שנות חיים אורך ימים בימינה ובשמאל האושר והכבוד אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום יסגדל ויסגדש שמי רבה Allah Dibra Di Hu Asilas Iskadza La Chaya Messiah La Saka Yason La Chaya Alma La Mivna Karta Li Yerushalayim Li Shachlola Hechlei Bagava Le Mekar Palchana Nuchra Min Ara La Sava Palchana Di Shmaya La Srei Yamlich Kucha Brichu Machusei B'chayechonu v'mechonu b'chayede kol beis Yisrael b'agalav yizman kari v'imru amen. Yisbrach v'yishabach v'yisbar v'yisomam v'yisaseh Yisadar v'yisalev v'yisalal shmei dekucha brichu V'elam yinkol berchasav shirasu tushbechasam nechamasat amiram ba'ama v'imru amen. Al Yisrael v'arabanan v'al tamidehom v'chol tamidei samidehom k'ol ma'adas v'yisa Diba asra dein v'diba chol asar v'asar Yehi lahom l'chon shlam araba China v'chisa rachamim chayim richim Zone riche perkana min kanada mu'u shmaya v'ara v'imru amen. Hey shlam araba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'rumah v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Okay. I feel like talking, so let's go on. Everyone keep eating your shizzles. Gentlemen, there's okay, I feel because of the distinguished guest list today, the topic is, I want, every person who speaks publicly has their favorite stories. I don't speak publicly, but Rabbi Lopiansky does. One of the quotes he likes to quote is a quote from his friend Rabbi Elfenbein. Oh, sure. By the way, in the history of Rabbi Lopiansky's life, there's a major thing you have to know about Rabbi Elfenbein here. Rabbi Lopiansky in this week's journey through the Israeli yeshivas was at Chappelle's. He's scheduled for Ancient Torah, Chappelle's, Or Sameach, and Nachon Yaakov. The opening for that was when Rabbi Elfenbein first went to Or Sameach, and as Rabbi Lopiansky told me back then, we figured out this is a way to get a job. That was about 40 years ago. Okay, now Rabbi Lopiansky likes to quote the following mashal from Rabbi Elfenbein. Now, Rabbi Elfenbein is a very good public speaker, so I'm going to butcher this. This would be 10 minutes, and when I was at Merkaz Torah, the Bachrim would have rearranged their schedule to actually be in for Shabbos. Okay, so there's a story. A young man's trying to drag a donkey,
and the donkey's not moving.
It was a mule. The original one was
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Oh.
The Maceres is a mule.
Okay, it's a mule. Mules are much more stubborn than donkeys. Yeah, mule. I have lots of stories about mule. Okay, so let's stay focused today. Okay, there's a story. A man's trying to drag a mule. Yeah, it's just not moving. It's just not. An old geezer walks by and says, "Son, that's not how to deal with them. You got to talk to them nice." Yeah. He said, "Okay, old man, you show me something." The old man. Yeah, picks up a 2x4, picks it over his head, and whacks it over the mule's head. The guy says, "That's talking to nice." He said, "Well, first you gotta get their attention." Okay, now when you get a cancer diagnosis, should at least be something of a whack over the mule. Yeah. Okay, so but most of that will be my private. I have to create a business. It's private between me, God, and a little bit Rabbi Shlomo Goldstein here. But I have to create a business plan for the rest of my life and present it to the Creator of the universe. Okay, that's my private avoda. But but that's a part of the reason why we're here tonight. I just wanted to get off to start of hopefully will you a vigorous and much better, much improved Montesia Rosenblum, older, wiser. Less funny. Okay, healthier.
You said improve.
That isn't Shlomo Goldstein tells me that 30 years ago I was much, much weirder and much, much funnier. My friend Jerry Marcus once read the autobiography of Jerry Lewis, who left the world last year, estranged from all of his 4 sons. And in the biography, it said, a psychologist said to Jerry Lewis, "You know, at about age 18, I can make you normal, but you won't be funny." Jerry Lewis remained funny. Okay, and did not do as I said, he did not build a great Jewish family. Okay, I don't remember if they were Jewish, but okay, not a great one. Okay, so they look Jewish. Okay, now what was I going to? So there was a Talmid Chacham who passed away a few years ago in Neve Yaakov, the Rabbi at Or Smeach. I heard that when he was sick, he asked his Rabbi, should I focus on accepting this with love, or should I focus on fighting for life with every ounce of my... Yeah? When I hear a story like that, I say, this guy does not have ADD. What he's going to focus on something why not do both? Why not do both? Why don't you... You have different emotions during the day. Just do it, you know. So tonight we're celebrating the past and accepting it with love, and for the hopes for the future will be private. Now I do want to say, I happened to hear a shir today. Shockingly enough, it was from Rabbi Lobansky, Parshas Bo of this year. There's a basic level. There's 3 levels of faith that you could have. There's three levels of human being. There's people who basically deny God runs the world. Yeah, and everything that bad happens. They might remember God to blame him when they stub a toe. Yeah. Then there's the people who say, well, bad things are happening, but okay, we have fate, but God can overcome fate, and if I daven and if I gather zchuyos, yeah, I could get out of this misbegotten situation that's been created by the forces of nature. Yeah, that's better than the first guy, but it's not really Judaism yet. Judaism actually believes the following. God, as Rabbi Lopansky spoke yesterday, God's very, very big, and he has to reveal himself to us. He has to conduct himself in various ways, different hanhagas. You could talk Kabbalah, you don't have to talk Kabbalah. And one of the major ways he divided that up is through the entire order of time. He revealed to himself to the generality of the Jewish people throughout history, and to each and every individual through different periods of time. In essence, let's take the example of Egypt. It's not fundamentally that we were stuck in Egypt suffering, and then we cried out to God, and then he took us out. I mean, that's true, but the deeper thought is God needed to create the Jewish people. An important process in that was to first give them the purification through their
through their gullus, through their slavery, through their inui, and then they would be prepared to be for the next stage. Every stage of life is supposed to teach you something, and everything is good. We're not living in a misbegotten world, a tale told by an idiot, because I'm educated. We are living in a world that.
Don't blame me. I could never stand that.
We are living in a world which is everything is planned for God, and therefore, when bad things happen to you, please don't come whining to me. I'm really not impressed. Okay, no, sorry. Okay, whatever happens, everything's good. I'm going to be. My vote is to David, but okay. So we're. I'm going to go through a difficult period of time. I hope I make it. I hope Jack loses the office pool. Sorry. Okay. Okay. No. I do want to thank you, gentlemen. When I first mentioned this business to you, I mentioned to you that W.C. Fields, who was a Gentile, has a. No offense. He has a. They say he has on his gravestone that all in all I'd rather be in Philadelphia, and I do want to mention that. And I told you that all in all I'd rather be at Machon Yaakov. Yeah, I'd rather be tutoring. I could envision a gravestone saying all in all I'd rather be tutoring at Machon Yaakov. But I must say that I very much appreciate the chizuk I've gotten from. You gentlemen here and all the generations, it's meant a lot to me, especially the guys here. I'm really enjoying the yeshiva this year. I think it's the most powerful year for, well, I don't know if there's a limit on that. Okay, to have such a positive group of people and such a loving group of people, so many of you working hard. Yeah, it's wonderful the year, and I hope it will continue, and we'll have a relationship for many years. Okay. And I think I'll eat now. Okay.
I'm going to speak to the guy there.
Would you like to speak, Rabbi? Would you like to speak, Rabbi?
Whatever you want.
If you want to. Yes, I'd like
Just don't tell me your story again.
Express something of Karsto. I do have one memory of that Siyum in Brachos, where Matthew gave profound thanks to his brother Michael for being so understanding, and his brother Jonathan for making from. So
No one makes it.
what?
No one makes anything.
No, but the contrast. It's interesting. Shas starts with the Seftas Brachos, and Brachos is not really. It starts really with Krishma. Krishma is a doraisa. Usually, you pick the first topic. You have the stuff like Mordkot and others. Usually, would pick the first topic, and I think it has a way of it's encapsulating what all Torah Shabbat Peh is. Torah Shabbat is fixed. Zosa Torah Lot Yemochlefes. It's 24 Sfarim, Chamishchom Shetorah, Sfarim of Navi, Suvim, and it's frozen, and that's it. So bracha is not. It's not really possible to have bracha within it. There's not going to be more writings, but every single piece in Torah, every single pasuk, every single word is a seed, and if you plant it, it grows. And as soon as you say me'emasai, you ask a question, it sprouts and blossoms and produces a lot. I want to express a personal karasato. Matthew described the state of the shurim I've had, were basically hefker. It was all over the place. I'm not an organized person, and just things were laying around. Many years ago, I met Matthew on a chance meeting in Ramat Bet Shemesh, and he made a deal with me that if I'm sure to inform him about every possible shit there is, he will organize them all. So it's been a burden a bit on me to keep remembering to tell him. Baruch Hashem, now he asked me about it in advance. Is this shit going to be this year? And my son is involved, so it's now automatically taped. But it made a huge difference for myself. I now know that, I remember I said something, where is it? I don't have to spend a half a day climbing through old shelves and trying to find tapes, if you know what that is. It's organized. You put in an uncountable amount of hours in it to organize it, to make it accessible, cross-reference. I cannot express the thanks that I owe it to him, especially since I don't think I could have done it myself, even if I had the inclination to do it. It's also, a lot of people have gotten from it, and it's all bracha that came from the incredible work he puts in. It's incredible work, and it's not terribly, there's a lot of it is just dry, and different people involved, so there's a lot of nudging and counter-nudging and so on. I want to publicly express my karas hatov, and I want to say that the schus of any bracha that's come out of it, it's only since you've taken care of it that people actually, click into it and have it available. Bez Hashem, all the schus of all that bracha should be a schus that Bez Hashem that you shall blossom and produce much, much more and do so much of what you do that's valuable and good. Bez Hashem.
I love you. Did I have that cola? Wait a second now.
Yeah, it goes back a long time. Tens of years ago, we were together way back when. Very touching, very moving. I'm glad that I had the opportunity to be here and join with this. I was there at the Siyum way back when in Telstone. Oh. Well, you were there also.
The next one will be a better one. The next one's going to be a much better one.
I was there for the Siyum Hashas. I'm here at the beginning of the Siyum of the first one. If I was going to write the Mishnayos, which I didn't, thank God damn it. If I was going to write the Mishnayos, I think I would have started off with Moshe Kibbutz Torah Siyum
Moses received the Torah and then the Messiah.
All right, I know, right? I would have started, you're starting Torah Shabbat Peh. You start Torah Shabbat Peh. Exactly what is this book? When we started, who said it, who wrote it, where did it come from? So you would start off with the Moshe Kibbutz Torah, be saying, Moshe got the Torah from Sinai, it was Torah, Yeshua came, etc., etc. And that's going to be the prelude, the Hakdama, to all the Mishnayos, where did it come from? Where is this wonderful little tidbit of Torah knowledge? Moshe Kibbutz Torah, where is it? It's not the beginning of Brachos. Where is it? Second office somewhere, towards the end of the Zikah. They have you're already 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through Shas when you finally said, you know something? God revealed this information to Moshe, who gave it over to Yeshua, etc., all the way down to us. Okay. There's something very deep and very meaningful to me, and I hope it will be important to you as well. When you talk about midos, when you talk about seichel, when you talk about yashris, you talk about goodness, you talk about how to become a better human being, right? So then a lot of people came up with a lot of ideas about how to conduct yourself in public and in private. The libraries full of all types of wisdom, Confucius, and I don't know, Baha'u'llah, Zoroaster, all kinds of people have all types of ideas and and concepts about what is the goal of the Shvil Azam, what's the refined man, what's the the golden path for a person. Okay, but all that is human. All those ideas are made up by men. So here, when we talk about the midos tovos that are so essential to Kol Torah Kula, you have to know, where our midos come from? Doesn't come from social contract, because I've been with you for 20 years. I found out that if I yell at you is not good, if I'm nice to you, I'll be better. Right? All this type of common sensey things are all human. When we talk about the midos tovos which are incorporated in Kol Torah Kula, we're talking about something which God revealed to Moshe, who gave it to Yeshua, gave it to the Zkein, who gave it to They gave it to the Anshe Knesset Gedolah, and we know the proper conduct. They know because we got it from God Almighty. We got it from Him. We got it from Him. We got it from Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Right? It's not human logic. It's not social contract. It's not common sense. One of the best. Yeah, we're all friends, right? We're all friends. One of the we really are. It goes back, tens of years. One of the better things that I had read, in my kosher Batola library was the Time magazine from the year 2000, when it gave an overview of what happened the last 100 years, the last 1,000 years. And I take it out every now and then. Concert. It gives me such a nachas. All the lashon hora I've ever said about goyim and about trade kenyakis, it's all there. So the savant of the last 1,000 years was Benjamin Franklin, the wise man who said it. The wise man who has it all figured out. Okay. Now, I'll give him one of the things that I think everybody knows and everybody believes in. Honesty is the best policy. Right? Anybody ever heard that before? You never heard that one before? Honesty is the best policy. Anybody would argue with that? Right? But honestly, the best policy is the product of a goyish cup. Tell them what a goyish cup is. Honesty is the best policy is the product of a goyish cup. A Jewish person, a Jewish Talmud Chacham, somebody who has Moshe Kibbutz Torah B'Seir would never say honesty is the best policy. Honesty is not a policy. Honesty is a value. I'm not looking for what's right or what's wrong. I'm looking what works. So if I cheat now, some people that catch up with me in a few years, I'll go to jail and this and that and the other, and go to jail, fraud, this and that and the other. So it's better to stay away, better to be honest. And if I could get away with it, if best policy would be dishonest, what would I do? I'm not looking for truth. I'm looking for the best policy. If I could cheat, lie, and steal and make it and never get caught, then that would be the best policy. Right? This is not something that the Jewish mind can possibly fathom. Honesty is not a policy. Honesty is a value. You have to be honest whether it works or it doesn't work. Right? But that you're talking to a crook. I'll steal from you if I can get away with it. But since I can't get away with it, so therefore I won't steal. Why won't I steal? Because it's not the best policy, not because it's truth or not truth. That's the difference between Moshe Kibbutz Torah B'Seir and Yeshua. Our concepts and our conduct and our refinement and our Ben Olam Chavero and our personality trait and the things we try to become and try to instill in our daily conduct, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed to Moshe, told this, that, and the other. This is the way a person has to live. This is the way, the refinement that the neshama of the Jew can yearn to become. Right? It's not something that it works or it doesn't work. It's something which is absolutely true. When I think about the Rosenblum gang, right? A whole gang of them, right?
My mother's 99 descendants today.
Think about the Rosenblum gang. One of the things that has always been, it's like he said, started out at one stage, the boys started out at a different stage. Slowly but surely they developed an outstanding Talmidei Chachamim and Bali Midas Tovos and Bali Seichel and Bali Chochma, but they got it from God Almighty. They didn't sanction God's existence. They opened themselves up that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should teach them how to be a bigger, better, and finer individual. They were the Kabbalah Torah Sinai, so Yeshua. That's where the Sechtes Avos comes in. It's something which, because it's a godly conduct, it's a godly value, it's a gift from HaKadosh Baruch Hu to be a straight shooting customer and understand how to conduct yourself in all types of circumstances. All of the Rosenblum boys, whether it's Michael or Jonathan, all of the good ones, they have this trait. They started out step by step by step, accepting HaKadosh Baruch Hu as their Lord and Master, instead of accepting HaKadosh Baruch Hu as their Rebbe, because accepting HaKadosh Baruch Hu as the most, enlightening, refining, and dignifying power that exists in their lives. And slowly but surely, they have become outstanding individuals. Both b'fnim, b'chutz. Everybody who knows them appreciates it. Everybody who, without having to amputate his personality. Right? And this business about being a blackie, frummy woman, that doesn't exist. That's not part of it. You don't have to amputate your personality in order to become, completely, dovek with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? To develop your personality and use it for its utmost and its the maximize your existence on planet Earth. That's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu has bequeathed us with Moshe Kibbutz Arabi Sinai. So it doesn't belong in Brachos. It's not a historical piece of information that HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed this wisdom. You have to wait until Nezikin. You have to wait until Midas Tovas come into play. And you say, our Midas Tovas are a gift from God. And that's one of the things which is outstanding for the Rosenblum family. How does your mother do, by the way?
She's doing better than me.
Did she still driving?
No, when she drove off a cliff, she decided to stop
Okay,
that.
after she drove off a cliff, I guess she gave it up. Anyway, it's a pleasure and a excuse they have, Talmid of this caliber. And I hope that he will have many, many years to be that you will be able to benefit from his exuberant and effervescent personality. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu should have nachas for him, and we should all have nachas for him.